But anyways, also like say like you have a situation where you have queen deuce in the big blind versus like queen eight. Say also like certain like things that are always true. Like say your big blind should be uh, like the highest position from which you fold the highest, but also check it's a position where you check raise also a lot. Also, like check raising, for instance, like can take a shit combo and like you know change your EV. Obviously, it doesn't change your equity, but you can like blow someone off their EV. So like knowing this and like seeing certain patterns, and again you're looking at a structured range rather than like some kind of like subjective like range, because otherwise 16% raise first in even in hand to note, for example, like you just don't know like what that range is. So but like so like say like you have a hand where someone's open from like somewhat middle to late position, you defend it with like queen 8, and in the others it's suited, and the other instance you defend it with like queen deuce, and say he there's an ace, there's a queen, and there's a 4 on the board, right? So basically you will have a situation where you do not want to have um, like queen 8 as often versus a c bet, because where is the guy drawing his c bets from? Well, he's drawing it from basically 8x 9x, right? 8 9 suited and all that stuff is all in his range. So when you have a medium strength hand, you really don't want to block the villain from say like bluffs, right? So this is like sorry, a cash thing. So queen deuce suited there is a better hand. But here, say like in that example, like ace queen queen 9 hand with jack 10, here you can easily count like okay, say like some other combo, but you can for every combo it's going to be the same. uh, this is close, but I think the limp is kind of whatever. Okay, give me a jack. Oh, blinker's gonna blink. Blinker's gonna blink. So anyways, so like you can say like from queen deuce through queen jack is what, 10? Yeah, yeah, 4 times 10. Yeah, damn, like so that's 40 combos, 44, 48. But let some of those you know uh, 3 bet as well, and it depends on your stack. But some other combos of flush draws also you can have, or flushes now on the turn that came in with the spades. So like that still is like about 40 to 50 combos of say flush, versus you can do the same thing for the offsuit side of um yeah, like some of the top the ones are still like but like if you look at this, like the bottom one, it's still like 12 times 10, so that's 120, but you subtract some of the hands that you might 3 bet with which even include some like bottomish like queen x hands in certain situations. So so there's a disparity between a somewhat strong hand like trips on like, and also somewhat like not a decently strong hand like which is a flush, but it's on a trips board. But here with this jack of spades, I'm not saying with the entire deck, you can donk that turn because the villain's not going to raise with say ace king. If he has, he's just going to call, and then you have like something to fall back on. So it's not like something you're playing at least your equity. You're not doing something random. uh, and then you can check it out on Pio with like structured range. And again, like I said, I mostly look for on Pio for situations where I am going to learn where I could exploit someone, or where I might be losing money. Like I said, when you play max exploitative strategies, you're playing a hand, so you can't really know where you're gonna be losing money, because it's either gonna work out, it's not gonna work out. It's not a strategy. like again it's born out of the game theory. Like you're exploiting the equilibrium, right? That's all you're doing. So if you don't know what the equilibrium is, or if you don't work on it, again, especially with like the tools we have, this should be like so much fun. We see all these people with like hoodies and stuff, like poker players. I don't see anyone with, you know, taking a pick for the gram with like Will Tipton's volume 1 and 2 in their hand. uh, so something like that. But anyways, so let's give another example where like you are deep stack and you want to call down. You open jacks from say small blind and you are 6 max cash. This was a hand that happened with me, and also happened very similar hand happened in like Pluribus. I'm glad I had taken BVZ session because kind of won 18,000 euros with that hand. Uh, so it was kind of like Queen 8 9, but the Pluribus hand was side differently, but it was like two tone. I had Jack of clubs, Jack of something, and I think there's two clubs if I remember correctly, and then he just called, and he also had like ace 9 or ace 10 of clubs. No, not clubs. He had one ace with the club or 1 10 with the club. But anyways, there he basically had a situation where he called, right? I bet 20% on Queen 8 9 with two hearts with the two clubs with backdoor clubs, Jack high clubs, and also like some blocking some straight outs, blocking having some outs to the straight, you know. The fact that we could be ahead, he's got some bluffs in his range, so we bet 20%, and he calls, or he raises to save pot. Now, if he does, um, well, 1 second. I'm gonna pause 1 second.